Hey, Watagwan, Bonjou Famille. It's your boy Bump Jones representing for Sprinkles from Salt Dot Podcast. Welcome back to another episode of a segment we like to call Conversations from the Cardiac. As I always like to say, now's the time to tell a friend to tell a friend. You see that arrow right there? A little off to the right? Shoot that motherfucker out like a kite and let them know we about to get it in. We about to have a conversation from the cardiac. Salute to everybody tapping in. Y'all know what it is. I don't want to be too parts.
What up, what up?
Hey, let's go. What's happening?
What's good, bro? How you doing, man?
I'm good. All right, bro. First of all, I appreciate the hell out of you for tapping in with me, man. Thank you so much for just, giving me your time and helping us schedule and put this together.
Hell yeah.
So the way this goes, real quick, is like a mix of personal and professional.
Okay.
I got a blunt. You don't got to smoke. I just want people to get to know who you are, how you do it, why you do it. So we're going to just, it's real fun. All right.
Yeah.
For those that are tuning in, it's your boy Bump Jonas, Sprinkle Some Salt Dot Podcast. Who you see below is Landalin, all right? Fucking master of mayhem out of middle America, all right? And it's more than just bars, but we're going to find out all about it, y'all.
Sure.
So, all right, make sure y'all tell a friend to tell a friend. Let's get it cracking. All right, here's the first thing, and it's a little bit of research.
Okay.
Fruity Pebbles or Captain Crunch?
Oh man, Captain Crunch probably. I think essentially they're essentially made of the same. Like the fruitiness is the fruity essence is in both, but
Okay.
like overall, I know a lot of people say Captain Crunch cuts the hell out of the top of your mouth, but I for whatever reason I don't have that big of an issue. I have to go Captain Crunch, man, because then you can go peanut butter Captain Crunch too. There's a lot of options, but Fruity Pebbles is fire too. Cocoa Pebbles, I'd say better than Fruity Pebbles in my opinion.
All right. Yo, look, y'all. We already starting, my man. Now, am I saying it right? Landalin?
Yeah.
Is that how it goes?
Yes, sir.
All right. So here's the most cliche question I'm going to ask. All right. Who is Landalin? What do you do? And why?
Landalin, I'm a dude from Columbia, Missouri, first and foremost. I'm kind of a person who found music through a love of performing first. So I've always been, as a person, I've always been on a stage or in front of a camera. I've always been a performer. I found music through just a love of hip hop, just always. My mom is the one who introduced me to hip hop. My mom is the reason I rap. A lot of the rappers that I first heard is all her CDs that she would just be playing in her car. So I picked up that music, but as a person, I'm a goofy ass person. I'm a sarcastic ass person. I love to connect and have fun with people. And through the art, I try to make some music that gives people something that they can have a good time to, or just kind of think deeper about their life, maybe, and aspire to, accomplish things in their life too. So that's just kind of always been my message, is always to improve myself and then put out music that makes people want to improve themselves too.
All right. Okay, I'll fuck with that. Now, I mean, I could definitely say I hear that in your songs, in your music. I definitely hear like this high energy, not in it like go, 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 but it's like, yo, hey, let's vibe on a high frequency. Let's get it up there. Let's go. And that's something that definitely shines through in your music, as well as bars, though. There's a very technical aspect to how you do things, but we'll touch on that. We'll get to that. All right, so let me ask you a question then. Besides mom, shout out to mom.
Shout out to mom.
Why rap? Why hip hop? And the reason I say that is I feel like you have more than a few talents that we don't know about. So
definitely, for me, and I would say I don't even necessarily identify myself as just a rapper. I think like I've always just been a creative person. Like before the term content creator was really coined, I guess that's always kind of made sense to me and what I've done. Like if I ever had a funny idea for a funny video, I would go and do it. If I ever, my first introduction to hip hop, besides just listening to music, I used to be on a breakdance team in high school, bro. Like I can still break a little bit. I can b-boy a little bit. I haven't done it in a really, really long time, but that's actually what made me start was the influence, you know, listening to kind of funky music that you can b-boy to, and then I would pick up rapping, you know, just as it stemmed off of that. So yeah, it's kind of like I do kind of dabble in some other things, but hip hop specifically, man, I don't know. I felt like, especially because I come from Columbia, Missouri, I've always felt like I've never quite fit into where my surroundings were. I've always felt weird. I've always felt like out of place a little bit. I always feel like when I find people that I really connect with, it's most of the time when I'm in a bigger city. Most of the time when I go on the road, if I get to do a show and connect with other people that, you know, really gravitate. There's just not. There is a hip hop scene where I'm from, and it's dope. But at the same time, when I was growing up, hip hop is kind of this not weird, but a thing that I definitely was looked at as being weird because I gravitated to it. And I can't really explain it. It just was played. It was played. My mom would play it. I would just hear it, and there's something about it. Was like I heard music, and I liked different kinds of music, but I think it was the first music that got my attention because there was something so different about it, and it was the rhythm and the cadence that caught me first before I even knew what the lyrics were.
What the hell is that?
You know, yeah, definitely. Like I was literally like, there was something. There was a knock to it. It was really the rhythm and the cadence that caught me. And then when I got older and learned the lyrics of those same songs, then I would figure out which ones that I still liked or like loved at that point because I, you know, absorbed it. So hip hop, I don't know. It was just kind of, it was always there. It was around me. My mom played it around me. And I just absorbed it from there. And it became something I would just kind of toy with in my secret time, you know, just privately, and then eventually started recording it.
Well, I can tell you the way I was introduced to you from a show. You were on a show. Salute to everybody tapping in. I'm having conversations on the cardiac with my man Landalin. I caught him at a show, and the way you were on that mic and the way you were on that stage, I mean, now that you say you came up as a performer, it makes sense. But I would definitely, without even knowing, I could tell that hip hop is definitely one of your energies. Like it's just natural to you, the way you approach it, embrace it, display it, relay it. It's all there. So, man, kudos to you. Shout out to you for how you do it, man. So when did you record your first song?
Oh man, see, I think the very first time technically that I was recording raps on a mic, man, because there was like, so are we talking like song I released or just like you just messed around on a mic? Like you record, but I recorded something officially.
Let's say you recorded it officially. You didn't release it, but you were open to sharing it with other people. Like, hey, check this song I did. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay. So I think the first time then that would have been, I jumped, and I can't remember the dude's name. It was in high school. So it was my, I think, senior year. I think it was my senior year, if not the summer before my senior year. And I can't remember homie's name. It's been so long. It was so long ago. But I wanted to hop on the Yonkers beat by Tyler. I had this, and I had some bars for that beat. And I was Tyler was kind of pretty new at that point. So I was getting into his flow and his sound. And then a buddy was like, yeah, I'll rap too. Come by my house. I got a studio, and we can record. I said, cool. Well, when I showed up, it wasn't a studio. He had a laptop and he had a mic, but it was like he set up a kind of a closet booth, but he didn't have a mic stand and he only had so much slack with the mic. So we legit had to lay down. I remember I had to lay down on the closet floor like this with my hands and hold this mic and then close the closet doors like this to isolate the sound. And that's how I first recorded my first like 16 bars. And the bars were nice from what I recorded. I was excited, but we never released it. I don't think he ever did anything with that. But it was the fact that I was laying down on the closet floor to record it. I'll never forget that. That was the first time.
I love that. I love that, man. Sprinkle some salt for that. My man he
Yeah.
put in action. That's called getting your stripes, bro.
Mhm.
Paying dues for real.
For sure.
He's over there trying to record. Like, remember back in the day, you was trying to watch a movie on the
That's
floor.
exactly That's exactly. I was literally just like, it felt. I even felt a little bit like, all right, well, we're gonna be telling this story someday, but this is gonna. And
Yeah,
as long as it comes out sounding clean, I don't care what the process is. I've been in all kinds of studios, all kinds of different studio situations, and it's amazing the sound you can get out. Just the right person with the right little setup. It doesn't matter. Like, but that was
bro.
definitely the first time I did it.
That is, I'm glad, bro. That right there is exactly why we ask these kind of questions, and I want to do these interviews because
Yeah,
now people will be like, "Oh, I'll definitely click in the link in the bio. This guy will rap in any position. He fucking will matrix rap. Let's go. It don't matter. I
for
love it."
sure.
All right, so here's a question: do we need record labels? We're in the age of everyone's independent, quote unquote. There's a million labels. Someone's got a deal here, a deal there, production deal, da da da. Right. So, do we need
Um,
labels anymore?
I you know I feel like it just kind of depends on like if I feel like, in my opinion, if I was ever in a position where that was on the table, I would definitely say I would prefer something more distribution. Like, just let me make my decisions creatively. Let me do what I want to do. Whole shout out to Jackie Branscombe, by the way. I just said that's a homegirl drummer extraordinaire. But no, like, that's to me, like, if a record label situation was out there, I'd be like very clear, like, hey, just give me money, resources, and just get my shit out there. Like, just help me with promotion, just help people get it in front of people. Cause I felt like that's not my strong suit, to be honest with you. Like, I'm getting better at self-promoting. I'm getting better at learning the odds and ends of that part of the game. But, really, for me, I don't think you need it. If you have a good network and you're really good at, if you've built up, I see some, like, these social, if you get to a platform where you've just built something up and you have such a following that your followers are going to do what you need them to do, I don't feel like you necessarily need it. But if
Right.
you're in a
Okay.
position where, hey, this will help me get out in front of people, and I think that'll help my music grow more, then I'm not going to knock anybody for it. I don't think you need it, but deals are just not the way they used to be. I definitely wouldn't do anything that signs away anything that's creatively my own. And I want to I own all my shit. I write all my shit. I don't want anybody to get involved and own and tell me what to do with my stuff. I just want you to make it seen by more people, and I can guarantee you they'll like it, because you gotta trust that. So that's just my opinion on it.
Bro, I love that confidence. Like, your confidence has been neutral, and then all of a sudden you make that statement like, "Oh, there it is. There it is.
I
Okay, I
mean,
love it."
I
You're like,
think everybody should feel that way. If you're having fun with your stuff, just don't sign it away just because somebody makes a lot of promises and wants to. You got to learn the business enough to not get fucked over ultimately. But at the end of the day, I don't think deals are necessarily needed. But hey, there is nothing wrong with somebody giving you more resources and a better network to get your shit out there. So.
man, that makes sense for a fair investment rate or exchange.
Right.
That makes sense. All right. So, what's your what's your favorite holiday dish?
Favorite holiday dish? I'd have to say, man. So if we're talking desserts, easily, it's my mom's peanut butter cookies. Those are fire. I actually just made those as of like after Mother's Day. She was feeling frisky, whipped up a couple, dozen, and those are amazing. Like, I share those cookies with people. They'll change your life. So I'd say probably my mom's peanut butter cookies if we're talking desserts. If we're talking just anything, regular holiday dish. My dad really, he fucks it up on a grill.
Okay.
My dad just recently got a Traeger, and he's like retired, just gotten like a guru on the Traeger
Yeah.
grill, and he is smoking up. I mean, I would say anything my dad's putting on the grill, anything that my mom's baking, is fantastic. So I'd probably go with that.
I like that. Good traditional answer. I like that. Now I gotta ask, with your dad, he's on the grill.
Mm-hmm.
Does he wear? Is he wearing like sandals and tube socks with an apron?
No, honestly, so he's retired. He's a military veteran too.
Oh,
So
never
he's
mind.
like
Never
he
mind.
kind of
That's all I need to hear. Military on the grill. He knows what the fuck he's
so
doing.
he
Never
just
mind.
like he's usually probably wearing like he's really into REI. So he basically just shops. He just dresses like he's gonna catch a bass at any minute. Like he's gonna go like he's in the super cargo shorts that might zip on as pants if he needs them. And then he's gonna wear like his like climbing shoes that he goes on his Colorado vacation. He's very woodsy. He's very mountain guy. So he
So he's
likes all
ready.
this,
There's
all
a
that survival
certain
gear wear. He'll just grill in
there's
that.
a certain attire that, like, you know, it's either dad attire or outdoor attire. If you get a man in either of those on the grill, you're gonna get some good cooking. It just works out that way.
For sure.
All right. So based off the energy that I see when you're on stage, I just have to ask, do you battle rap? Have you ever battled? Have you ever like done any cipher work or anything like that?
Battling, no. Honestly, that is like from the second that I said, hey, because there's always a moment when you decide I'm gonna be a rapper. You have to kind of pronounce. It's like it's this weird thing where like at a certain point you have to kind of announce I'm a rapper now, and here's that, and then and you just go and you go about your business and you just do rapper things. But like eventually you're gonna have to announce I'm a rapper. And when I did that in high school, there's a lot of sarcastic assholes that like battle me then, bro. Like people who ain't serious, they're like, battle me, dude, battle me. And then there were some people who were serious, like, I want to battle you. And my response has always been like, bro, I just don't do that. Like I love watching battles. Like I'm the best sideline person at a battle. I am the guy who's getting so hyped. I feed off that energy. Yes, I'm not. Honestly, I just wish a really good battle rapper would just invite me to be a part of the posse in the background on like one of the big ones, because my facial expressions are gonna be crazy. I'm gonna give all the hype. I'm gonna do all the crazy shit. But like, you know, battle rapping is dope. Like I honestly watch battle raps to get energy to write. Like I get, for some reason when I watch battle raps, it puts me in a mood. It puts me in a headset where I don't know. It makes me write more aggressively. I get more competitive. Like I remember when Kendrick Lamar dropped that Control verse. I was one of those guys that was up getting angry with it and just he was talking about me. Like I'm gonna write this 16 that blows it away. So I've never battle rapped. I have had a lot of people have been like, I want you to battle me. Like, I just don't want to battle, but I love ciphers. I've done ciphers. I love going. I used to like either high school, college, house parties. If I see a cipher, I'm in there. I'm jumping in there. I love when anybody like tries to let's play some beats and let's see what's going on. I'm like, okay, and I love being nonchalant too. I'll walk up and act, especially if they don't know me. I'll walk up and act like I'm like just checking in, like, oh, okay, that's really cool. And then as soon as I'm like, can I try? And then I'll just whip them, like just get in there. But I love ciphers more. I feel ciphers are collaborative. There's more love there. But man, I appreciate a good battle, and I love being on the sidelines and just seeing that. But I've never given a try at it. No.
All right. I fuck with that. The energy is there, so it's crazy, but I can see it. All right. Here's the left field question.
All right.
What does water taste like to you?
What does water taste like? Air, liquid air. I mean, that's essential. I mean, I know that's like it's like a silly, I don't know. It is kind of how it's, because if you've ever been like, you go out in the morning, okay, this is what it tastes like. You go out in the morning, it's early in the morning, like 5 in the morning, maybe 6 in the morning, you got an early shift or something. And it's humid enough outside, and there's a nice little fog a lot of dew on the grass, and you just breathe that air. That's what water tastes like. That's what water tastes like.
That is an awesomely descriptive answer, and it explains some of your lyrics from you. Okay. You're very, yeah.
But that's
I
kind of like,
that.
I've never thought
that.
of that until you said that. But then I'm like, damn, that kind of is what it, because I love going out at a certain time of day and there's some moisture in the air and you can breathe it. And it's almost like you inhale it. And that's kind of like, if you had to describe a taste, that's kind of what it is.
I love that. I love that answer, man. Appreciate everybody tapping in. Tell a friend to tell a friend. It's your boy Bump Jonas from Sprinkle Some Salt. And we got Landalin straight out of Como, Columbia, Missouri, putting on for hip hop, for the Midwest, for Missouri, for Como, and for his moms who man, shout out to moms for giving us this madcap guy here. All right, so from your perspective, what is stage presence and how do you use it?
Stage presence is, it takes, I would say just stage presence takes a lot of time and effort, and you got to really hone that. You got to do it over repetitions. I would say if to anybody who's trying to develop stage presence, the best thing you can do is just make sure that your material is so memorized that you don't have to think about that, don't have to worry about that. You can just go about your set and focus on your body, the crowd, how the crowd's reacting to what you're doing. Do you need to pitch things up to get their attention? Do you need to interact with some, like, I would say the best advice is just you memorize your material to a point that you can really, really go into this autopilot mode with that. And then you're focused on being creative in the space. And the more opportunities and reps you have being creative in that space, then you can figure out what works and what doesn't, and you figure out bits. So I would say I learned that over time, but that is that's my favorite part of it also. Like, I create music. Music was kind of a love because I wanted something to perform. So then I became, and I got love into music because I love performing it so much. And I wanted more fun stuff to perform, and I just wanted to keep this thing rolling. It was kind of like feeding that dragon, so to speak. So I would say stage presence is everything, and it's the thing that I love, that I look forward to performing the most. So just learning that material is the key.
Hey, for anyone that's tapping in now or later, that was a gem. That was a major gem. Y'all need to take some notes. That was. I can go into a whole tangent on that, and I won't. But definitely a big key. So here's the question, and this might come across political in a sense, but I don't mean it to. But is there I'm just going to ask it like I wrote it. Is there a working class or a middle class to hip hop per se? You know, like you have the underground, that's the unknown, and then you have the superstar level, right? Or commercial. Do we have like a middle class hip hop that's, you know, I don't know, they don't have to work a second job to eat kind of thing, but they're not really known?
I feel you. I think that kind of is just kind of part of the underground scene too at the same time. I think I think technically we're all underground until we break through. I feel like we're all operating in the same energy, the same space, and we have this glass ceiling, and we all got a little box with a glass ceiling, and we're all like cheering for each other, looking at each other in their box. And then one of these days, somebody's gonna bust their little glass ceiling, and they're gonna go up and go, oh shit, there goes Jimmy, or whoever, you know, whoever fuck. And you're like, damn, they broke through their ceiling. That's dope. Like, and we should all be like stoked for that person and be like, I can't wait till I'm gonna keep trying to bust through my ceiling and see what I can make happen. So like, I feel like, yeah, middle, and also, to be fair, I feel like till you make it, you should still there's no shame in having a job and also pursuing this shit, because you need to some of us need to you got to make the income to feed the dream. And there's no shame. I have a day job where I work in a cubicle, but I also am providing for my family, and I'm also making crazy money and have full benefits. And then I also have side investments, side hustles that feed into this. That's also feeding other things. So it's important to just learn investments, learn how to just do finances and just keep grinding. But yeah, there's no shame in having a side hustle or having a day job and grinding this shit out, because we're all just trying to break through our glass ceiling eventually. So
I love it, man. And that glass ceiling reference, your metaphor, your bar work is tremendous, man. I'm flowers and kudos to you, man.
I
Here,
get
let me
that
give,
from my
actually, we'll
dad.
give you the
I get that
Whitney
from my
clap.
dad. My dad raised me. My dad is kind of one of those philosophical, kind of like Southern type and talk guys where he'll just, Matthew McConaughey will just say some stuff and you're just like, what did he just, it's some deep. My dad's got him for days. So I definitely get that from him. I'm definite.
Shout out to Dad for
To
that
dad
one,
for
man.
that.
We can't leave Dad hanging.
Yeah.
All right, so what's your studio feng shui? Like what's things that have to be in place and what are some things that cannot be in the studio in order for you to create?
Well, right now, right now it's kind of a mess right now. The most important thing, I like a lot of color. I like a lot of, like, as you can kind of see, I got a lot of like knickknacks. This is just my desk. I built this desk myself, and made it super huge, just like the size of its weight. It doesn't fit in the picture, but I just got a lot of knickknacks. I got a lot of things that are like, I've had this Beanie Baby since I was a kid. I've got a Logic signed Rubik's Cube right here. Actually got to get a bunch of swag from Logic. This is actually a prototype Logic. So this is like all the covers of his mixtapes on a Rubik's Cube. And the only reason I got this is because I accidentally rode a elevator with his bus driver when he was in St. Louis. He was at the pageant. And his bus driver said, "Hey, are you a fan? Our bus takes off at this time. Why don't you show up?" Got a bunch of swag. So, I've got just little knickknacks. I've gotten things that have been given at shows. People that have just said, "Hey, here's a rock. Somebody just said, "Hey, my grandma dug this out of a cave today. I feel like you should have this. It's a crystal. It's got good energy." I'm like, "Okay, whatever."
Absolutely.
So I just
Absolutely.
like things, anything that anyone's given. If you've ever given it to me and I feel inspired by that, or if there's things that remind me of good things that inspire me,
Connection, things with good
yeah.
connection and sentiment. I like that.
And there's art up on the walls where you can't see. I'm a fitted collector. By the way, I see you with the KC. I like that. So I got my fitteds over here. Right now it's kind of a mess because I got a new trunk, kind of like Tyler the Creator has those kind of old vintage trunks. I got one over
Yeah.
here and it's covered and stuff. So mostly it's just keep it colorful. I got video games over here. So if I want to take a break from working on from writing or making some music, I can play Wii Bowling right here or whatever. You just get the vibes, just get good energy in here whenever I have friends over too. So
All right, man. Your studio I want to say it sounds lit, but it really just sounds fun, like upbeat,
playful.
like good vibe.
I like it.
Yeah,
I like it. I like
playful.
it. When we need it to be serious, it can be, but ultimately it's playful. There's this. I want it to feel like like that same essence that we had when we first started. If you ever tried rapping, you probably did when you were a kid. So like I want that. I don't want that kid vibe to go away in here. I want it to feel like, oh, I want that same hunger like when I was that kid, just trying out those little bars. Just everybody,
Lovely.
everybody's done that a time or two, and you want to be like, okay, I want to be surrounded with things that make me feel like that vibe. So
Man, that energy comes through so loud and clear. So I love that, man. Kudos to you for being able to, be self-aware, to capture it, and then to express it in a way that you want, because it comes through loud and clear.
sure.
Which leads me to a question. Would you call yourself a big kid or a mature adult?
Oh man, I'm a big kid. I'd say I am like, yeah, I'm a big kid. I think I would say I'm a kid who is proud of being responsible. Like, but I'm still know when I'm gonna give myself my time to be a jackass. Like, and that's okay. But like, I think it's like I'm always working towards getting things settled so that I can have my time to just be irresponsible. So be responsible to work, set yourself up, almost earn the right to be a little dumb every once in a while and just have a little fun. So that's how I look at it.
Earn your dumb time. It's not downtime.
Right.
It's earn your dumb time.
Your downtime, dumb time, and just be safe with it. But like, it's, you know, that's, you gotta, you know, whether it's, you know, have your little bit of money aside to spend on yourself or whatever, or if it's just going on a little experience. And, you know, like literally today before I did this interview, I went and hit like a giant bucket of balls, golf balls. Like I went to the driving range and just swung for like an hour, and I was just on a whim. My girlfriend was like, let's just go. You want to go hit some balls? And she was like, just gonna watch me. So sometimes you just got to be like, I'm just going to go just sweat and grip and rip for like an hour. So
just to get, you know what, get that energy off. And and I like that. It's a experience too.
For sure.
You seem to be an experienced guy as well too. You like to engage in things and experience things that obviously feeds your art, your performance need as well. I bet it feeds a little bit of like, helps fuel like, oh, I can tap into that. Because as a performer, I assume you have like these little folders or like corners of your mind where you keep different feelings and things you want to express. Right. Like, are you an actor? Have you ever tried acting in any way like that?
Yeah. So I in high school I did acting all throughout. I did see. I mean, I've been when I started performing, honestly. I was just doing like these local little talent shows, like, because again, I started breakdancing probably when I was like 11 or 12 when I wanted to start breakdancing. I was just putting cardboard down in my grandma's living room, just going at it, like just learning as much as I could. I would go do little pop-ups at this dance studio downtown Columbia, Dance Arts. Shout out Dance Arts. And I would just pop in with several b-boys there, and I would just learn as much as I could. So that's kind of was my introduction to it. I got off track. What was the question? What was the original question?
Just like, have you always been? You mentioned you'd always been performing. So with like acting, or is that something you're going to get into?
It's kind of like the start was being on stage and was doing these talent shows, and then like I would also do plays like. If it was a school play, I would do it. I grew up in a Christian private school. I went to a Christian private school most of my life.
Lots of plays. Lots of plays.
There was kind of like a mandatory, like you were doing a skit about the Bible, or we're doing a skit about we're doing the Christmas play this year, and like stuff like that. And I would just do it. I would just honestly either be picked for them and forced to do it. But after a certain age, I was like, I like this. And I was told, oh, you could probably do that if you pursue it. So I did theater throughout high school. Several, you know, I did a musical. I did one musical in my life. And I'm not big into musicals. Like, I hate musicals. I did The Music Man. And that
that's a tough one, right?
That's tough.
That's a major musical.
So, you know, you like Family Guy, right?
Yes.
Do you remember the episode of Family Guy where Peter Griffin is singing Shapoopy? He's like, Shapoopy. That was my song, bro. That was my song. I had to do, I was playing, I can't remember the name of the character right now, but I was that character in Music Man. I was kind of like the Robin to Batman of the main character in Music Man. So I was just kind of like his, like, you know, on the side comic relief. And I had that one song, and I had to do Shapoopy. So that was my senior year. So yeah, acting, I would so be down to act. Like I love rap. I love rap. But even in the other content that I do, I'm writing, I'm pursuing right now. I would say pursuing actively, but I've been writing stand-up. I want to get into stand-up comedy. I want to get more involved into more acting. I've been trying to exhibit acting in my music videos when I can.
You do already.
And try to elicit that emotion on camera. If anybody ever approached me for any sort of acting work or anything, I would definitely consider it, and I would do it. Not necessarily theater. I've always wanted to just get more into actual film, acting,
Okay.
television, anything like that. So
Y'all heard it here. You heard it here. Just another layer. I told you he had bars, but I felt like there was so much more. And right here on Conversations from the Cardiac, we're finding out Landalin he got layers like Shrek, man. He's a damn
like
onion.
onions, like onions.
All right, so who's your favorite Power Ranger?
Oh man, rest in peace, man. Rest in peace, Tommy, White Ranger Tommy specifically. That was
Yes.
the movie Power Rangers, the Power Rangers movie. I must have, I think, I never owned my own copy of it, but it's for some reason was a movie that just kept being at places I was at. I think maybe my buddy Patrick across the street, he had it. So every time I came over, he was like, you want to watch Power Rangers movie? I was like, duh. So we just played it every time we hung out. I think we would just play it and play with the Power Ranger action figures at the same time.
Yeah, you have like the background going, playing. Yeah, I
Yeah.
love that.
So like I've seen, like I still will watch that, like just for nostalgia's sake. It's still a decent watch. But yeah, Tommy White Ranger specifically, because I thought the Green Ranger is cool too. But the face mask, the saber-toothed tiger, all the pads, it was just such a clean look. Oh man, yeah, and then he only had the coolest suits, in my opinion.
Yeah,
So I know that's an
yeah.
easy answer to say, Tommy, but especially, man, he was absolutely the coolest. Easy.
No, I can't. There's no wrong answer, but that's a damn good answer. That's probably the
Yeah,
best answer. So good
he's
job.
just the coolest. Yeah.
All right, so here's a question that comes. I ask it every time. It comes from Thrax Pastry, our sponsor. Apology dish. What is your apology dish? And so let me break that down real quick.
Okay.
Let's say somebody pisses you off. Let's pick on your girlfriend, respectfully.
Okay.
Let's say she pisses you off. She comes back and she apologizes. She says all the right words. What's the dish, the treat, the meal? It could be a snack, whatever, that lets you know, like, oh, you know what? You get me. Come on, sit down over here next to me. You really get me.
Yeah. So like, is it kind of like, my bad, I was tripping, what do you want, bae? Is that basically?
Kind of like that.
So, okay, man, and it doesn't necessarily have to be cooked. It could be cooked, but it could be ordered. It could be anything, right? Because me and my girl, we have our favorite spots that we really, really like to order from. So that's always kind of like every once in a while we'll surprise the other person. We're like, guess what? What? I got this on the way. Get home soon. Like, and then it's like, and then you get excited to get home because we're just going to smash. Man, apology dish. See, when you started the question, I was thinking, what would I make to apologize? But now I'm like, I would probably say, man, there's a pizza place in Columbia called Wise Guys Pizza. Shout out to Wise Guys Pizza. Bomb as fuck. And they got Mott sticks, all that. It's in a pub that you can go to, McNally's. You go in there and you can order pizza also in the back. It is fire. Their ranch, I don't know what they're putting in the ranch. The ranch is special. Like the Wise Guys ranch is special. We order like 8 of them every time we order, and we just rack them up in the fridge, like, because it goes good with everything. So I would say if she's ever trying to be like, I'm sorry, babe, but guess what? What? And I'd be like, what? There's a Wise Guys pizza on the way. You know, pepperoni, sausage, bacon, sometimes deep dish, sometimes not. Deep dish is good too, but then ranch, oh man. And yeah, that's definitely gonna go. That's gonna be fire. My girl is an amazing cook though. So literally she could cook anything and turn it out. But the flip of that question, if I'm apologizing to her, because I be doing that, because I'm a dickhead sometimes, I would say my apology meal that I get to, and it's a flex, because I've done this a couple times, I know how to do it, lobster tail. I can whip a lobster tail up, something mean. I do the butter sauce with the everything. I drizzle it on, crack the tails open, present it, bake it so it bakes over the tail, make it real presentable, put a little lemon wedge on there. I do it big, and I do some potatoes with it or something, some, you know, some sort of side. But yeah, if I had to flip that
You might
around,
need to
that's what I would do.
apologize more often. I think your girl would like that if you
I love
apologize.
an
Like,
excuse to make it. So sometimes I don't even need to be apologizing. I'm like, hey, I just want to make some lobster tail because it just sounds good. But
just
yeah,
whip
that, I would say
it
that
up. I
for
love it.
sure.
That's hard. All right. So, what's some passions outside of performing or doing music, that you know are really strong in your life? Some things, some passions that you're really, you know, go pushing into.
For sure. So, you know, outside of the creative stuff, I got a dog. I have a dog. Her name's Tina. She's a Swedish Valhound, and I only know that because we found this breed on accident. But she is basically what looks like a corgi and a wolf had a baby. She's like a corgi size, but she's got a wolf coloring, so she looks like a little Balto. Like she's
That's
and she's
hard.
she's just like a really really cool dog. So I'm really actually into I'll take my dog and we'll do like obedience walks. Like I've never actually competed with her, like doing like obedience competitions with her, but she is bred to do like agility courses. She's her pedigree is agility courses, herding dog too. She's got a high energy, high drive. So when I'm not making music, when I'm not, if I got free time, I'm probably have to go run my dog at least once a day. She's got to go get active. So I try to just do as much stuff with me and my girlfriend. We try to do as much as we can with our dog. We just try to get out and be active. We go hiking. I think it's important. You got to get out there, get sun on you, get grounded, feel connected with the earth. Um, Turn your phone off, be quiet, just feel quietness because it's good meditation. So my form of meditation is I go and take my dog out, and me and my girlfriend will just go out somewhere into nature, and we'll go on an adventure. Either that or we'll go walk downtown too and let her, you know, say hi to people and socialize. But I'm passionate about animals, really. Like
Okay.
when I was in college, I took zoology. I always told myself that if I wanted to go back to school, I'd probably pursue like zoology and do something that's involved with conservation, something that has to do with just animals and wildlife. Because I've always felt connected with animals, love animals, been around animals since I was born. So yeah, I'm real
That's
passionate.
hard. See, for those tuning in, we're talking to Landalin, and besides the fact that he does music, he's like Matt Damon from Honey, I Bought a Zoo. He's out here loving
Trying to
animals
save
and
the
shit, you
whales, man. Like, no. I love, but like for real, like me and my girl, whenever we have a vacation, if we're ever leaving town, we've done trips around experiences with animals. I've seen humpback whales on Valentine's Day. We were in the float. The coolest, actually, to be honest, we fed gators in Florida and had like a VI. We held gators and fed them right up close to them. And then the coolest, honestly, was wolves. We have a dog that kind of looks like a mini wolf, but we went and we did before when the park was opening, we went to Colorado. I think it's Colorado Wolf and Wildlife Center. I hope I got that right. Shout out to them. But they have a lot of rescue wolves. They have coyotes. They have fox. They have a lot of different animals of that nature. But we got to go in before anybody else, go inside the enclosure with
were
fox first. We
there
started
with
with
it.
fox. Yeah, we were in with the fox. We were feeding them, hanging out with them. They're really cute and fun and playful. They'll dig little tunnels and they'll laugh and giggle. And then we went and we hung out with all the wolves throughout the different place. And me and my girlfriend, we were just sitting on a log, and they would come up, sniff you, lick you, kiss you, hang out. We would just give them little treats, and it was really fascinating because like a lot of, you know, after the pictures, I posted the pictures, some people were like, oh my God, that's crazy. You're crazy. I could do that. I just didn't feel scared. It didn't
Right.
feel scary. And it is kind of weird how, not to get too much on a tangent, but you kind of see how dogs turn. You could see how man has connected with something that turned into a dog. When you've actually hung
Okay.
out with a wolf in person and see how they react to you, you realize that they're really more scared of you than anything. And that was the
Right.
biggest takeaway I got. It. They were such sweet, sweet animals, and very, very timid, if anything. So that's my passion, is animals and interacting, learning about them, and also learning about what's the best. Because also within reason, conservation. You know, I'm not the guy who's against hunting. You know, my uncles hunt. I understand
Right.
the necessary process of that. It's just more like, you know, the balance of things, but learning about those animals and interacting with them.
Fuck with that. All right, man. I'm glad I asked that question. Yet again, we learning much, the layers of Landalin. That's the
Layers.
way we're gonna call this shit. So, what's the weirdest movie you've ever seen?
Oh man, probably. What's that movie with the killer, the tire that kills people?
What?
Have you heard of this? Have you heard of
No.
this?
Are you talking about like Christine, the car, like the Stephen King shit? A
It's
tire?
like, okay, somebody has to know. I think it's called Rubber, something like that. It's literally a movie, and it's like there was a time in my life when I was hanging out with my homies, and we'd be a little drunk or we'd be a little smoky, and then we would get on. You used to get on Netflix, the old school Netflix, before it became fully all streaming. You could still order DVDs at this time, and you could sort your search results by the worst ratings possible. So that's what we would do, is we would look, what is the worst rated shit on Netflix, and we're gonna watch that. Like, we're gonna roast it the whole time, make fun of it, see how much we can last. Because sometimes we would get 20 minutes and we're like, we can't watch this. This is
So
just
you were
this
doing like Mystery Science Theater 3000 on
right,
your
which
own.
I
You're
love. I
recreating it.
love Mystery Science Theater, but like we would look up the worst shit. I'm talking like half a star, if or less, or no stars, and we would watch that. We would watch stuff that like people are almost warning you, please don't watch this, and we would watch that. So I would say the weirdest movie, I don't know, it's called like Rubber or Burn Rubber, something like that. But it is literally, and I shit you not, it's a movie about a tire, just a lone tire rolling through the desert. It's like Phoenix or some area, whatever. He's rolling through the desert, and it, for whatever reason, has the ability to just like telepathically murder people by making their heads explode, and like, or just making them come, like, he literally, people will see this tire roll up and just stare at it, and all of a sudden their heads will just explode. And it was literally an hour and a half of this tire rolling around, meeting people and murdering them and going on a murdering spree. And it's literally just a tire. And at the very end, and I'm going to spoil it because trust me, y'all ain't missing nothing, but at the very end, he enlists all the other tires in town. And the end of the movie is just all these tires rolling down a road towards a big city in the distance. And there's like tricycles following, and the tires are going to murder the city. That's, so to speak. So I don't know what it's called. I think it's Rubber or something. That is for sure the weirdest one. Second runner up would probably be Hobo with a Shotgun. That's one of the weirdest movies I've ever seen. It's very gory, very bloody. It's very culty.
Okay. Okay.
That's just a post-apocalyptic movie about a hobo with a shotgun, and he's the hero, and he's blowing people's heads off with a shotgun. So I've seen some crazy, weird shit in the depths of Netflix, and I don't think that stuff's still up. If it is, I'm surprised, but yeah.
I love it. Okay, man, you are a wild character. I'm loving this interview. We still got a good 10 minutes left. You good on time?
Yeah, hell yeah, we're good.
All right. Hey, I see you out there, her royal partners. How you doing things? Just want to say hello to that great interview we just had yesterday. Welcome again to Sprinkle Some Salt. Conversations on the Cardiac with Landalin, Midwest Mayhem Madman from Como, Colombia, doing his thing. All right, so fitteds or snapbacks? What's your preference?
Man, that's tough.
Or does it matter?
I don't think it matters because I still wear both.
Okay.
But I do definitely like. I definitely have more fitteds now than I do snapbacks. But I have snapbacks, dad hats, fitteds, beanies. Like I am the hat guy more than the sneak. There's like, I feel like you go one of two ways. You either go way into hats or you go way into sneakers. If you can finesse both, I'm like, cool, good for you. But I got out the sneaker game a long time ago. I just wear Vans, but I wear way more fitteds. I went heavy into fitted, especially in pandemic. I used to have them when I was a kid. I would have the little hanging tree in my closet. Now I got like literally a bookshelf of stacked, you know, and I got big into Hat Club. Shout out to Hat Club. All those fitted people, all the fitted collectors and all that shit. I got my pin boards over here, so I pin them up. But snapbacks, if it's a snapback, it's got to be vintage. That's my only rule.
Okay.
If I'm gonna do a snapback, it has to either fit like a vintage, or I will literally just go. I'd rather buy vintage '90s caps. If it's a starter cap from the '90s, if it's a green brim, anything that fits kind of like that boxy 5-panel golfer fit. That's really the key for me.
Right.
But otherwise, I'm rocking with fitteds. I do anything. I wear beanies. I wear brimless caps. Those are those kind of beanies that are just made of the non-hot material. You know.
I like those. It's got a bit of a twist to things right there. You know what I'm saying? Shake shit up.
I got a lot of hair. I got curly, long, crazy hair, and I need a haircut. So, and I usually go long spaces before getting a haircut. I just throw a hat on for a show, and I feel okay about it. So, I've always been a hat guy. I love hats. So, I'll probably say right now, fitteds for sure. But snapbacks, I'm always gonna scoop those up. I'll probably get like a couple fitteds, and then I always grab a little snapback on the side. I just keep them rotating.
Keep the ratio, keep it even. Gotta, you know, show a little love. All right, so how do we feel about wooden roller coasters?
Oh man, I'm not a roller coaster person. I'm not even gonna cap. I am not even gonna cap. I got a heights thing. I'm not good with heights, bro. I'm just not. Okay. I've done roller coasters before. It's like I'll do like certain rides. I think it's literally the height thing for me. It's the height and the drop thing. Some people really like that gut feeling of feeling like you're, and I just really don't like it. As a kid, I hated it. So I'm not a coaster person. I'm a water park person. I know some people think that's trashy, but I don't give a fuck. I'm a water park guy. You give me a hot day. I want to go to Big Surf. I want to go to whatever that Hurricane Harbor and Six Flags is lit to. Those for some reason I'm not down with roller coasters, but I'm okay with a slide.
You like the water slide?
I'm fully okay with that. I want to go on. The one thing I haven't done yet is go on one of those slides that has the ramp at the end and shoots you out way up in the air. I want to do those so bad. If I find a place that I can do that, I'm pulling up.
So would you zip line into the water or some shit like that, maybe? Or is that too much of height? Okay.
Oh yeah. Okay. I don't know what it is. I think I feel invincible when it's water, but I think it's maybe being strapped to this mechanism that's on the coaster, and I'm not in control. But if I'm out here ziplining, I'm like, nah, fuck up, and it's my fault, you know. So I'm in control. So maybe that's what it is. I don't know. But I like water parks. I'm an arcade guy. I like going like bumper cars and just like carnival kind of shit. Like I'm not the major thrill seeker who needs to go on the big coasters. My family's all into that. That's cool for them. But I've always kind of been the chicken shit guy who's just doing the other stuff in the theme park and kicking it and chilling. So
you know, you bring a different angle there. That's all perspective.
But now I can drink and smoke, so those things are fun now. That's the thing. It's like if I can fill a whole day at Six Flags, not ride one coaster, but I had a great time. Me and Bugs Bunny are kicking it. We're having a great time talking, chilling. Like, so to me, that's cool.
I love it. It. As you have, you know, I guess grown into your talents, into your passions, right? Whether it be it's always performing, whether it be music or otherwise. Who've been some mentors or teachers for you along the way?
Man, so I got to give a big shout out to Ayeee the Prince, homie, artist, phenomenal rapper. He's a rapper. He's his own sound engineer. He produces for himself. But he literally is a guy that has been there since day. I mean, I know I told you the story about me laying down in the closet and recording raps and all that, but that was technically the first time I recorded something. But when I was seriously connected and in a studio, I was introduced to Ayeee the Prince and also DJ T-Sav. So shout out to him as well. I was introduced to them by my homie Tony J. He goes by Tony J. Also a rapper. So a lot of connected artists in my area that are responsible for me meeting people through whether through those people or we did a show, and then all of a sudden now I've networked with this person, and now this person's a homie for a while. So everybody always was introduced to me, and I would say Evi to this day has always kind of been consistently a mentor, somebody that if I'm going through something personally, if I need some advice about if I'm having going through some of the relationship issue, long before my girlfriend. I mean, he knew me. He literally met me when I was 18, and I'm turning 30 in August. So he literally has seen me grow from a child basically and become me now. And so he's seen me go through all these steps, and he was just a couple of years older than me. So I would see him go through stuff, and it would kind of like give me some strategies of how to deal with that, because I know it's coming for me pretty quick. And so, he's always been helpful, man. He's and phenomenally dope lyricist. Go check out Evi the Prince, man. He is incredible. And
how do I spell Evi? Is it E-V-Y or Evi?
So I'll spell it for you. So it's three words. So it's E-V-I-D-A is the second one, and then Prince, P-R-I-N-C-E. And that he's been doing it way longer than me. He's around here OG, and like literally he's fucking charted artist from here. I give all my flowers to him. I would say he is the biggest help for me consistently since I started doing this, and he has never switched up on me. He's never changed up. He's never been fucking fake. Matter of fact, he's always been the person who has pulled me aside and said, hey, I heard so-and-so saying this about you, and you need to know that. Like, he's always been the one straight up with me. I've always been straight up with him. Never felt the need to mince words with him or hide anything, and same vice versa. So, yeah, Evi's always been kind of consistent. I'd say other than that, also my big bro, he's only about a year older than me, but he's my best friend in the world, is Arthur, my boy Ayeee. That's my homie, my ride or die. Me and him, we've gone through, he was there for me when I first started, like the first thing I met with him, we were just kind of smoking, and, I tried my raps out in front of him, and he was fucking with him, and he's always been a supportive homie, and talented photographer, talented videographer. Anytime I needed somebody, one of those homies that you might have a bad show, and maybe it was the venue, or maybe the promo is shit, or maybe you haven't built up a following, whatever, but you got that one friend who's going to be dead ass center in front with his drink and just biggest hype man in the world, but he's not on stage. That would be Artie. He's been there consistently. And then the third, and it's the most important, obviously, would say, and I get brownie points, but it's true, is my girl. My girl has been my rock, the most supportive, has really been there for me in my darkest times, whether it's depression, anxiety, loss of my family, ever needed money. Bro, I'm telling you right now, she's throwing money. She's booked me gigs as presents for Christmas. Like, she's just booked me venues. She's like, hey, by the way, you got a date at this venue. You need to figure out what the theme is, and you need to start doing promo and probably get an event page up pretty soon. But you have a show, and I'll be like, what? Like, she always is my biggest cheerleader. She hates when she can't be at every show. I know she can't be at every one. She hates when she can't be at every one, but she is always right there for anything I need, takes care of it, makes sure my parents get to the best seat possible so I don't have to worry about that. I can be backstage and focusing on my set. So she's always taking care. She'll sell the merch. She'll watch my merch for me. I could name a lot of other people like that have been important to that, but those three people, my girlfriend has been, and my future wife too, working on that. But anyway, yeah.
Y'all heard it here first. Y'all heard it here. No, thank you so much. As I like to always say, man, we just thank you so much for representing KC, representing the Midwest, representing yourself. KC is the new Mecca. Love yourself like you love the world, like you love the world. Do something to earn your place in the world this week, and just be a dope ass person. Y'all have a good one. Peace.
See ya.